All right, we're live again. Let's see if it takes people a while to get to us. Let me see if I can send a message out on Facebook as well and see if we can do that. So
yeah, we're gonna be rambling.
Yeah, we're just gonna ramble and talk to ourselves here for a second until we can find out what's going on with this.
The only thing I can say until people connect is that I don't have wine today. I actually have a beer.
See, we got 3 people back on again. So it's probably the same 3 people. Lori's back in.
Yeah. You have a drink, Lori? What you're drinking? And Brian, I know that I literally just have a Pacifico Light because I felt it was just too warm to be drinking wine. It will hit me at more. So I don't think I can do it right now. I think it's the first life without wine for me. But anyway, see, he's trying to play.
All right, so maybe now, maybe there was something wrong with the other.
Lori says Brian has it working on the TV now. Okay.
So
Perfect.
we goofed something up. I'm gonna try and post it over on Facebook. See if we can pull a few more people in.
Okay. Just sparkling water, lemon water. I'm shocked because this is our drinking time, Lori. The last Saturday. But it's okay. So it is freaking cold in Canada. I keep saying that I want to go to a cold place, but I don't have 12 degrees. I want to go to 12 degrees. It's like, I don't know what's the sweet spot. I don't know in Celsius what's 75 degrees. There's where I want to be. I'm assuming it's low 20s. 18 to 25. So who else is in the chat, guys? Let us know. Well, it's hard to know because a lot of people, like you guys said, it's like sometimes you're watching from TV, there's really nowhere to chat.
Right. You can't get it back.
You're just hearing us like goofy people that we are. And what else? So today we have the motor happening. That was exciting. I asked the guys, the mechanics, it's like, if I want to leave right now, can I leave right now? And they're like, yeah, you could. Obviously, we cannot jump the boat that is right in front of us, but the whole point was just to ask if it was everything done, everything. And yes, everything is done. Everything is hooked up. Everything is tied up. Paul was with them all day long trying to make sure every single cable was plugged in where it's supposed, sensors and electronic stuff, and everything should be plugged in. And I'm glad that he was out there because there was, I think, a couple of things that it was a little bit, they have forgotten or they didn't know what the cable was about, that they were add-ons, they were extra stuff. It's not regular motor stuff. So that was kind of nice. But it's like we are good to go. We are able just to, actually the goal is to leave on Monday. So right now, when Paul was out there with them doing their thing, the mechanic thing, I was in here just cleaning all the fine dust from Baja. And if you have, some of you have been down to Baja, like, there is that dust everywhere. So today has been, after that, trying to just start cleaning. So on Monday, the latest, probably we can roll out and start testing the RV. And it's so exciting, and at the same time we are so nervous about it because it's just like everything obviously is new, but it's like, and obviously it's supposed to run like no problem, but I don't know, there's some sort of, I'm gonna call it anxious, some sort of nervousness about, we Paul and I were talking about it this morning, like, oh my god, it's real, we're leaving, we're finally leaving. And but the guys, actually, they said they were gonna miss us. We're definitely gonna miss them. They're like good guys, they're funny guys, so they're always joking with Paul in their very little English or sign language, and Paul also joked with them a lot too. He has learned a lot of new bad words, I think, when I'm not around. A lot of new
Spanish bad words, yes.
When I'm not around, so I already told him stop doing that because I need more of those words. But for the most part, it's like we're all good. It's like tomorrow we finish. Oh, we took the seats out, the driver and passenger seat, because they were obviously working on the motor in that area. So tomorrow, those seats are gonna go back in, and again, just the last minute stuff. And we forgot already how to travel after 2.5 years in Los Barriles and now 2 months in La Paz. It's like we're like, okay, what are we missing? What do we need to kind of like tighten up, or kind of like what do we need to do so things don't come crashing down? So we still need to go back, and we never did have a checklist. I know a lot of our viewers they actually do have a checklist. We never did. Like
No, we
we
never have
always
had one.
knew what Paul knows what he's gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do, our own thing, but we're out of it. We're right now out of the motions. So it's just gonna get back into them little by little. But anyways,
Slowly people are finding us. Sorry about the screw up on the live tonight, folks. There was something weird about the original post and it wasn't working and nobody was able to get on, so we just restarted, and now I see people are finding.
yeah.
Karen and Lou from the Jersey Show are here. The Epifanios are in the house. John Senesi is here.
Senesi.
John Senesi, retired butcher boy. Good afternoon from NorCal. So yeah, some people are finding us now. So that's good.
Kelly is like, how are you? It's like she needs an alcoholic drink. What are you gonna make, Kelly? And it's like Kelly makes great drinks. So
I hate to say it, Kelly, but Lori's gonna have to drink your tequila and stuff.
I know we're bringing tequila with us for Kelly in the U.S. So I hopefully like they don't find it, otherwise they're gonna get taxed. It's like that always happens every time we cross borders. It's like I always have extra drinks with me for some reason.
But it's never seemed to be a problem. I mean, we've never had an issue crossing the border with it.
They have only asked us once, like specific question about how many do you have alcohol? Of course, we said yes, and they asked us specifically how many bottles. I think only once we have been asked that, but there is one bottle that I don't know if we're even allowed to cross the border. That it's a rum from Cuba. So Havana Club 7 people.
And you know who's going to take the heat for that one?
Why?
Because you're going to throw me under the bus. You'll just go, it's not mine, and then they're immediately going to look at me.
No, I'm just going to say, I don't know how it's there. I don't know how it show up there. But yes, it's like we're going to prepare for border crossing too. At this point, I need to not shop anymore, just to live here lean and light and cross the border. Except for my Mexican things, I'm gonna put in the freezer certain things that I cannot get in the U.S. So that I need to do literally in the next couple of days. And if everything goes right, if everything goes good, we'll be in the U.S. probably in a week, I would say. But we still don't know. We're gonna travel the Baja extremely fast. And we're going to be going probably just get out of here in 3 days, plus probably another 3 days of testing the actual RV, 3 to 4 days testing of the RV here close to La Paz. So in case there's any small adjustments or sounds or anything like that, we can come back and just basically get that done, get that fixed. But there's nothing, like literally the way the motor sounds, there doesn't seem to be anything that probably is going to need to be buttoned up.
I can't believe you just said that.
It's going to be fine, Paul. It's going to be fine. We're going to be close to here anyway.
Yeah.
But yes. So anyway, we're super excited and at the same time super nervous. And another thing. Right now, there is a storm coming our way.
Yeah, the first storm of the year. That's right.
First storm, Alvin is actually the first storm of the year. Atlantic and Pacific, or I mean, from the whole area. It happened to be in this area, and it's gonna hit Baja, but it's just gonna hit us a tropical depression. So it's about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Is that's in those areas, or that's nothing? That's a winter windy day. So
tropical depression. That's like a sad storm.
Sad storm.
Yeah, it's not
depressed.
It's not a strong storm. It's a sad storm.
But yeah, so that's another thing. So maybe we get rain, and Paul wanted to leave. He wanted to leave today. I'm like, well, first they're finishing today. He's like, so you cannot just rush out. And two is like with the tropical depression, we don't want to be driving in those winds with no shoulders on the highways here. and we just don't want to do that. So we just decided to wait until Monday. That should be passed by then. And I was gonna go and stay with my mom to help her out if anything, because initially it was gonna hit like tropical storm. So I was gonna kind of like help her to button up everything. But now since it got downgraded that much, I decided not to go because it's just like a very windy day. That's all.
It's just like a normal winter day in Bareilles. We get 30-mile-an-hour winds all winter. That's what makes it good kiteboarding. Hey, Jeffrey, we got a newbie on the channel. Hi, Jeffrey. It's like a AA meeting. Hi, Jeffrey.
Well, he says he's been watching for a while.
Cool.
So yeah.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I believe there will be worse places to break down. Definitely.
That is the good of this whole thing is, I think we said it the last one, because we didn't think we were going to do 2 lives from here. But the last time we said that if we had been 3 hours north of here, we would have been in literally the middle of everything. So like, or I said, guess 2 hours north. We would have been 2 hours to the next major city and 2 hours to here. So it would have been a really bad place to have been broken down if we were in Ciudad Constitucion.
Or even north of that. Because once you get into the middle of Baja, there's not that much. I mean, you can still get parts and you can still maybe find a mechanic, but you don't know, there's not that much availability when it comes, or options when it comes to mechanics. And then you have to wait for parts as well, if not more so, because now they're coming from different places. So it definitely was a great place to break down, not only for the convenience of the shops for them to find stuff here, but also for us to just have a good time while we're broken down. Just go and walk around and eat our way through La Paz. The Paul keeps going back to the same restaurant over and over and over again. And
because it's awesome.
I know. Even Paul said it's like, because we're already living in La Paz, it's like he's like, we need to go and there one last time before we leave. So we're gonna go there to have fish tacos. Baja fish tacos.
Yes. Probably after this, right? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Sorry, I was reading comments. Forever fixing. That's what we feel like we've been doing this last couple of months. Welcome. Jerry, my old fan. Is that Linda and Jerry now? You switched up? Freya, not rocking too bad. Are you still doing the loop test?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do probably like a 3 or 4 day or around the loop on the bottom here. So between here, Los Bareilles, Cabo San Lucas, and back, and then we'll just swing. If we don't notice anything, we'll just swing in, say hey to the guys, just let them know that we're good, and then we'll roll out. Obviously,
yes.
I mean, we don't really need to stop by here, but like Lori said, they've just been so cool to us. So cool.
Well, but if there's any little sound or something, we have to stop. And the funny thing is, I almost feel like they know they do good work because they know it. They know they're good mechanics. But they still told us, well, see you here in a few days. Or they told me, are you taking the car? You turn the car? It's like, just leave it behind and just grab it on your way back. And I'm like, no, we need to test RV with everything.
Yeah, we need to be towing.
With all the weight and with everything. Because we cannot just test it light going around and then put it the weight on the way north.
What's funny is these guys today, or I guess it was yesterday, when they first fired up the motor. Yeah, I've worked on this stuff my entire life, and when you do a major thing like this, normally you turn the key and it's going to be 30 seconds to a minute of nothing, and then you go, oh, I forgot to hook up the electrical to the fuel pump or whatever. I mean, there's always something, or it fires up and it's not right, and it just, there's always something that you might have forgot. And it literally, they turned the key for 5 or 10 seconds to let the fuel fire up, turned it off, turned the key a second time, and it fired right up like in under 30 seconds. And I was just like, wow. And it sounded great. No problems. And so I was telling Lori that I was kind of shocked that it fired up like that. And she told the mechanics that. And the mechanics look at me and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, why? Like, our engines always start up first try. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to offend you guys. But like, usually there's something that you forget. And they said, nope.
Not to them.
Not to them. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. My old fan is the AC okay. No.
We have no AC. We haven't had AC in 2 months.
That's why we're
Yeah. You see it's a little bit shiny.
And that's because of humidity. But it's not because we have problems with the AC and the RV. We have problems more like plugging into the wall here. There is no ground under power here. And our, how do you call it? The little square that we plug in first.
The little square.
The surge protector.
The surge protector
doesn't work. It's like doesn't allow us to plug in the RV. Like literally doesn't allow us. So we decided not to plug in the RV, especially pole protecting all the electrical system with the solar system and all that stuff. So we just have a fan, and that's the other thing. The other day we have overused a fan. I don't know if that's the problem, but we have a 12-volt fan, and where it plugs in, literally it got
fire.
I don't know if it got fire,
it was
but
melting and smoking.
It melted. It just stopped working. Like it kicked the breakers, and it just stopped working, and it was just melting. So we have to go to the store that same day and just grab just a regular fan, and that we have it plugged into the wall. But
yeah, our electrical right now is kind of hokey. We have cables run in from the cables. We have electric cords run in from outside because you can run some stuff without a ground, like coffee makers and things like that. They don't really use a ground. Anything that's got like a 2-prong plug on it, there's no ground, so you can run those no problem. And so we have cords running, and anything that we have that's 2-prong, like the coffee maker. The coffee maker actually should have 3-prong, but it'll be fine. The fan,
my induction cooktop
works.
Stuff. Like we have it plugged in. So Floyd Cooley, I think that's correct. Will you have to break it in since you're towing? Is like.
Well, yeah,
we have to break it in. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I know very little about what this motor really is. I get this out of our face. What the motor really is. So it's not technically. I don't think it's technically a rebuild. Like, I don't know. It's hard for, like, Lori can't translate because she doesn't know engine terms. And then the mechanics are trying to explain to her in Spanish. I'm asking her in English. So Lori's trying to run this gamut of terms that she's never heard before.
I didn't grow up speaking mechanic language in Mexico. So, yeah, there's some words, parts of cars that I don't know how to translate. I don't know the word.
Like a stud, like a bolt or a stud or.
No. Like sometimes you like give me like the flywheel, or you give me like and it's like I don't know how that is called in Spanish. So it's
she doesn't know what it is in Spanish, let alone in English. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So what I told them, and Lorena told them, is we do not want an engine out of a junkyard, which. In retrospect, I'm thinking, okay, we had 160,000 miles on this thing. The average on these, I would think, are around 20 or 30,000. So an engine out of a junkyard really isn't bad. If one was in a wreck, probably not a bad thing anyways. But what showed up was a long block. It looks like a rebuild. It had no intake on it. It was, looked like it was freshly painted. Not freshly painted, but it wasn't the pretty, they don't repaint the valve covers and all that kind of stuff. My thought is they get a motor, they pull it apart, they inspect it, they check compression, make sure the stuff is good and put it back together. I don't think it's new pistons, new bearings, I don't know. And as inexpensive as it is, I don't believe so. Our friend Chuck just went through a new motor, and it's expensive, like 25,000, and we're going to be probably under 10. We're all said and done. So I just cannot see this being a full rebuild. I just don't. And it's still, whatever it is, it's still going to be better than the 160,000 mile motor that we had. And when the motor showed up here, it looked like it was in pretty decent shape. So we don't know really. And we do know that it's probably going to be better than what we had. It's really weird for me to be in this situation where I don't know. Like it's just weird.
It's definitely gonna be better than what we had because this one works.
Well, yeah, it works.
Powers in, but But yes, it's like we're gonna have to test it definitely. And it's Jerry. My old hand is actually Jerry. He says that he meant the main engine, on the main engine. I'm assuming the AC.
We haven't checked the AC yet.
Yeah, something that we have to check.
So we'll find out when we do the loop starting on Monday.
Yeah. Hey, Tim and San Diego. He's like, so yeah, it's just an ordeal now. So it's the prepping to leave, making sure that everything is working. There was one little part that you guys couldn't hook. I don't know if you want to have like the sensor for the brakes.
Yeah, we've got a brake sensor that we never got hooked up, so we need to figure out how we're going to get that hooked up. We'll do that Monday morning before we roll out.
That sounds important.
Well, it's the ABS light showing on, and I'll have to research that a little bit more of what this sensor exactly is. It doesn't prevent the brakes from working. It doesn't prevent the ABS from working. It's a sensor to tell you. It's something to do with the master cylinder. So it might just be a sensor that reads how full the master cylinder is. I don't know. But yeah, we definitely need to get that. That's the only sensor that we couldn't
plug in.
Somehow it got broke off during the removal of the engine, and
the problem is it's plastic too.
Yeah, it's plastic. So all the plastic, I tried to drill it out and get it out of the hole as much as possible, and I got almost all the plastic out as far as I know. We need to run another bolt in it, but that's it. I mean, for the most part, it went back together better than what it looked like. They re-loomed a bunch of stuff. They fixed a bunch of the electrical wires and the way that stuff was run. So yeah, that part is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So all good, all in all. But yeah, just very tiny details, and we're probably rolling out here on Monday, just to do the test loop at that point.
Yeah, so, Brian says after 2 months, I can't believe you didn't fix the shore power ground. Dude, I'm not going to play with that stuff. I went back and looked at their electrical box, and I was like, I am not touching that. It just, you've seen electrical stuff here in Mexico. It's just.
And they told us, like, Alfredo told me, it's like, why you don't have your ACs on? You don't have ACs? And I was like, yeah, and I explained the problem. And they're like, you have told us. It's like, we could have just fixed that. And that was just a week ago. So at that point, it was just like, yeah, they didn't have to fix it for us. It was a week ago.
And I thought, yeah, if they didn't have the ground now, why would they have a ground? I mean, they're only running grinders and stuff here, so they're not running. Oh, I guess they do have a fairly decent size compressor up there. So I don't know. That's got to be. It doesn't have to be running on a ground. I don't know. Well,
I think so, because I think you said you plug in the stuff in the front and it works fine on the front of the shop. It's just this back one.
Mm-hmm. Somebody says we need to be sponsored by Blue Yeti. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is that we're on our way to Palm Springs to get new lithium batteries. So, yeah, none of this. It was it's just one of those things. We were literally going to stop in La Paz to get a new battery because the battery looked like it had been out. We haven't had a new battery in this thing since 2021. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good life on a battery, especially in the heat. 4 years in the heat down here. I've never had a battery in Las Vegas last more than a couple of years in the Southwest. That heat just isn't good for it. So this battery lasted a pretty decent amount of time. So we're like, once we get to La Paz, we'll replace the battery. So we did replace the main chassis battery yesterday as well, because when they tried to use the
we
battery,
were gonna replace originally anyway. We just never made it, so we're just replacing it. We just replaced it right now.
Yeah. Forever fixing. I got my boat motor from AutoZone Marine. It was considered long block, numbers matching. Yeah, you cannot get a Ford V10 motor down here in AutoZone, or it's hard to find parts in AutoZone for that. It's just not a motor they use here. In the States, they have a lot of like delivery trucks and stuff that would use a Ford V10, or like I think the F550s or stuff like that. I can't remember which ones use the V10, but down here it's not a thing. If it's a delivery truck, it's going to have a diesel in it. Even the smaller trucks have diesels in them. Diesel is a lot more popular. So the V10 engine, we went to Ford the other day to get an oil cooler, to get a new oil cooler for it.
Paul got it in the U.S. Like somebody brought it on for us. And how much it cost you?
I bought an oil cooler in the U.S. I think it was $60.
Around $60, and the mechanic told us it's the wrong size, and the entries of certain things is the wrong. And so we went to AutoZone, and they had the exact same one that we had, but here it was equivalent to $110, the $60 like oil cooler that he got. So, and we were like, well, that's not what we need. We need one just like ours.
Yeah,
so
this isn't the one.
We went to Ford, the dealership, and they told us, yeah, this is not something that we have here. We have to bring it. We have to ship it and all that stuff. And it's like, it's going to be 4,200 pesos. So $210. And it's like, so yeah, everything is like, dun, dun, dun.
So we got back here and I said, let me look at this again. And I put it back on and screwed it up. And I told the mechanics, I go, it fits fine. It works. It's the right one. Actually, and they were like, oh.
The one was harassing the other one, the other mechanic.
Yeah.
Because the other one is the one that had said that it was not the right size. And the one mechanic's like, it is.
Yeah.
So they just sent us on this chase for nothing, but it's fine. At the end of the day, we just lost one morning and we had the part. So
but the point of that story was we went to the Ford dealership and they were like, yeah, we don't have parts for that here. We're going to have to get it from the US and it's going to take 14 days. And we were like,
and I think I saw at some point a comment about that, about like, oh, it's like basically they work very slow in Mexico. And it's not that they work slow. Actually, these guys have been pretty fast when they're working. The problem was waiting for the engine. It was the wrong one. And then waiting another 3 weeks for the new one. So it has been like a month and a half just waiting for the right engine to arrive. So that has been the part. And Paul tried to source everything that he could think that you cannot find here. Like he says that our engine is not common in Mexico. So he tried to source everything he could from the US, have it brought down. So he was ready to go by the time they built everything, put everything together back.
Yeah. So it was just is what it is. Like it's just not a common motor down here. It's just not. So the fact that these guys had never worked on one before, they had never worked on a V10.
Oh, I don't know. They said they have motorhomes before.
They've worked on motorhomes, but they've never worked on the V10.
I don't know what they have. Oh, well, I don't know them. Lori, thank you. And they're gonna send us goodbye. So when we're on our trial run,
awesome.
Like, we're gonna need them.
All right, Chuck made it. Chuck's in the house. Awesome.
And Fred and Lynn is like they're in Acadia and Maine. I'm assuming it's chilly over there too. He's like, you guys travel north way too fast. You should have taken your time and just kind of like nice weather everywhere. But anyway.
Somebody just brought up 10 years. So I got notification today that we have been on YouTube for 10 years. Our first post was actually June 15th. First post together. I was doing some online marketing prior to Lori and I doing the TME channel. With this channel. I was doing some online marketing stuff, and so I started the channel a month or two before we actually started on it. But we watched a 3-minute video of Lori and I today, our first video of us sitting at the table, and we're so nervous, and we're like, "Hi, I am Paul. This is Lorena. We are the Sharon family," and we're like, so nervous, and it was like, we are going to live in an RV. It is going to be a 1-year test, hence the name, the Motorhome Experiment. And so it's like just really goofy, but that was 10 years ago.
That was before you even buying the RV, and
we had not bought the RV yet. We had planned on doing it, hadn't bought the RV yet. It was 7 months later that we finally bought Freya it was either January or February of
I think it was February
2016.
February, because I remember we went to Quartzsite to check RVs over there.
Yeah.
Just see what we like, if there was anything available, that kind of stuff. And then we realized Quartzsite's a ripoff. Because I have to say, if you're gonna buy something, they're pricey over there. But anyway, that's beyond the point. But it's been 10 years. So yeah. So when was the last time we made it to the US? So the last time we had, I would say Juna. Obviously, you were in Alaska.
not in the RV. In the RV, it was 2020. It was November 2022. We crossed with the caravan of folks.
Yeah,
That's the last time we had the RV in the
November
US.
2022. So already quite a while.
So
But to the US flying, Paul was in Juneau for 3 months.
Juneau, Alaska,
like
3.5 months.
Yeah,
And then Lori came up for a
week there. So that was last summer, basically. So it's been already a while. I would say there's a few things that I do miss about the US, and there's some things I don't miss about the US. So there's some things I'm really looking forward to go back to, and other ones things that is like, whew, I don't know about that. But anyway.
Yeah, Mexico is it's a crazy place when it comes to like certain things are super inexpensive, and then some things are just crazy expensive. And like for car parts, for example, I do not know how the average citizen down here affords to. Well, that's why there's a lot of used cars down here. There's not a lot of new vehicles. That's not true. There's a lot of new vehicles, but people tend to keep their cars longer.
Yes.
But to buy parts for them, holy smokes! Like we went and bought certain things that I know I could have gotten in the United States for $40 or $50, and they're $120 down here, $130, $150. And I was just like, ouch, just holy smokes. The oil cooler would have cost us $210 if I didn't already get one for $60 in the US, and friends brought it down in their suitcase. So
in all fairness, also it's just for this specific engine that doesn't exist here, because if you buy parts maybe for more regular cars, totally different, but different. It's funny because Chuck says the first video I saw you were on your way to look at RVs in Quartzsite. It's like, but you had seen the one you bought. You're correct. Right. Actually, when we were on our way to Quartzsite, they have told us it's like we couldn't pick it up if we wanted to. It was available. And it's like also Brian Buchanan, my favorite video was a timeline video for the transition from the house to the motorhome. Totally unrealistic.
Kevin loved it.
When you're always talking about timelines for anything, doesn't matter what, he's always totally unrealistic. It's like he always compresses the time somehow in his head.
Yeah, I think that's most men. Oh, I can get this done in 2 hours, and then 6 hours later we're covered in grease, hands are bleeding. Yeah. Oh, that's me. I'll just say that's me. Yeah, that's one thing too. That first video that we did in June of 2015, the reason it was 7 months is we tried to buy a couple of RVs in the middle of all that. I'm sure everybody knows that story, but if you don't know that story, we went to first look at a couple of Class A's in California. Yes. And at that time, we had what they call thin credit, because we had 0 credit cards. We didn't owe anybody any money, and we didn't buy anything on what do you call it? We didn't buy anything using credit. And so now we're going to go. Yeah, we lived in cash and debit cards, and we just didn't borrow money. And so we went in to buy a $90,000 Georgetown and couldn't qualify.
That in retrospect, I'm glad we didn't qualify.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. We had enough income, but they said, oh, your credit's thin. And we're like, well, what do you mean? They go, well, you don't have any toy credit. You got to have some, we want to see boats or jet skis or other trailers.
They literally suggested this. It's like, instead of
the most mental thing ever.
Instead of getting a $90,000 RV Class A, because we have always wanted a Class A, it's like, instead of that, get like a $35, $40,000 motorhome. No,
trailer.
Fifth wheel.
You can qualify for a fifth wheel. You can qualify
for that. We can qualify you for that one, and then go and get a truck. And Paul is like a $50,000 to $60,000 truck back then. Now they're more expensive, but back then. So Paul is like, I'm even more into this than I want to, money-wise. It's like for something that we don't want. We don't want to tow something. So it's like, yeah, but that was their solution for us. And wait, and they told us, and then you wait 1 or 2 years so we can show that we're responsible paying this toy, and now we can get our motorhome.
Yeah, so basically we'd be upside down about like, $30,000 or $40,000 a year or two later. I was like, nah, that's not happening. And then there was one other one too that we tried and couldn't qualify for. So we give up. We were like, okay, we'll go down to Quartzsite and we'll look. And we drove past a El Monte RV rental shop.
Because we're from Las Vegas. It's like all the rentals, RV rentals, and all the RV campgrounds and all the RV dealers, they're literally all in the same avenue in Boulder Highway. So when we went to a few ones, we kept driving through El Monte that we know is a rental, but you could see some of that says for sale. And they had, I think it was 2 Class A's back then. They had like 2 Class A's, and we're like, well, let's check it out. And when we walked in, it was totally renovated to back then what it was renovated, right? It's like nowadays it's totally different. But we were like, we like it. It's like
almost a third of what we would have paid for a brand new one.
We love the layout of it. So it was a good thing. So it's when we can like talk to them, and it's like after that's when we went to Portside.
Yeah, so that's why the big gap between when we started and said, oh, we're going to jump and live in an RV until we actually bought the RV. We had this weird thing happen where we couldn't find the one we wanted and couldn't qualify for the one we wanted. So yes.
But anyway, it's like, do you normally carry extra parts with you? Brakes or spark plugs, oil, coolant? Just wondering why wife and I are going to start traveling soon, and I'm considering. Oh my God. It's like, he carries with everything. That was my one complaint.
I don't carry extra parts.
With most,
I carry a lot of tools.
The band?
Well, I carry a spare belt.
Sorry, in Spanish is band. Yeah, belt. This belt. There was something you were carrying with. There was 2 things you were carrying with. But anyway, and that brings me to a different story. We can talk about a little bit later. But all the parts that are the part number for our RV for this motor, they're always too small or too large for this. Yeah,
I had that new belt, and I went to use it right now. I'm like, oh well, let's change this belt out. The old one's been on it for 6 years, and let's just put the new belt on. I handed it to him. It was too short. It was too short. It wasn't the right one. We went to AutoZone to get the new one. It was the exact same belt. It was too short, so they just measured it and measured the old one and
found something that would work.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. That already happened to us like 2 or 3 times. The part numbers for this motor is not really what we need. But anyway, with that being said, Paul carries with oils, with coolants, with transmission fluid, with I would say all the fluids.
Yeah. You always want to carry fluids.
All the fluids.
Carry it. Pint of brake fluid, pint of transmission fluid.
Yeah.
An extra oil. You don't really need to carry oil.
You still carry with oil. But I think that's because you buy sometimes in bulk.
Yeah, you buy in bulk, and then you have an extra quart left over.
But he carries with all the tools, and I will say I complain about them because of the space and the weight they put in. But they have helped us in many times really to have those tools. So
if you're in the U.S., like brakes, for example, no sense of carrying brake parts. If you're in the U.S., you're going to be able to get brake parts pretty much everywhere, or get it Amazon to you pretty much anywhere. And it's not like your brakes are going to just go out where you're going to be stuck somewhere. Your brakes are going to fade, and you might have to limp in somewhere, but you're going to be able to get those parts. But like, oil and things like that. Yeah. I mean, coolant, again, this thing has never gone through coolant. It just hasn't. And then we found out just now that there's a crack in the coolant in the excess. I can't remember what that the coolant reservoir. So there's a crack in it. And if you fill it up too much, it fades down to just underneath it, but it still works fine. And I'll replace that when we get back, or I'll put some liquid.
I agree with Paul.
Some JB Weld.
And it's one of the things we miss about the US. There's availability on any town for parts, and you have online options. So
Amazon.
That's one of the super nice things about the US. It's like, so don't get carried away with it. It's like with bringing stuff with you. I would say just the liquids, and the tools, but because all the parts you can find them anywhere where you go.
And it depends on what kind of mechanic you are. Like the tools I have, I was able to change an axle in Alaska in a campground. Mm-hmm. So I have enough tools to be able to do that. Could I obviously I can't change an engine. He has
some crazy
but tools. I have some decent sized tools to be able to do some stuff. I changed the shocks in this thing in a campground. Yeah. But did I carry shocks with me? No, I just ordered them on Amazon, had them delivered to a campground, and then did the work there. So remember that if you're in a campground, most campgrounds are going to allow you to have stuff delivered there. Yeah. So
Fred and Lynn says, sounds like Fred, every tool under the sun. We also do a water pump and a step motor. I don't know.
Oh, step motor? Yeah, our step motor, the step motors are normally, I think ours is like a Toyota window motor. And so again, readily available. Yeah, you'd have to be without one for a couple of days. But yeah, that's not a bad thing to carry. But once you've replaced it, the chances of that thing going out again for years is pretty slim. Like ours now has been on here for, I don't know. It's been a while. It started not working when we arrived here, but it was just because it was so full of dirt and stuff that I just greased it up, cleaned it, and it's working fine again now.
Yeah, Lori says, Lori Buchanan, we couldn't do this lifestyle if Brian couldn't get us back on the road. Couldn't afford to pay. Well, you guys have diesel, so that's a big cost too. It's like I take for all the stuff that happened on our 25-year-old coach. Yes, definitely, it costs a pretty penny, but especially on diesel right now. The Snowdens, they went through some of that stuff on their own coach, and they basically had to get rid of their diesel, and now they're going into a different route when it comes to that. But yeah, definitely, it comes handy to have handy people with you.
I will say it makes the lifestyle, because I see a lot of people that really freak out about the lifestyle and like, oh my God, it's so hard and stuff. It really isn't. But that's if you have some mechanic skills, because you're driving, everybody says it. You're driving your house and it's basically suffering an earthquake every single
time. But I would say too, it's like, I know there's people not necessarily not with the skills, but with mobility issues that now they cannot do stuff that maybe they were able to do it. And the problem with the lifestyle too is that Paul can get us out of a situation pretty quick because he knows what to do and everything. He can do this stuff. But if we were waiting for getting to the shop, how long we have to wait, then they keep the RV. And in the US, when it comes to RV shops, it can take months. Like we heard a horror story of just changing a windshield. It was like 4 or 5 months that they have to wait. I think it was more than that just to change a windshield. So yeah, it's just crazy sometimes.
If there's anybody here other than Jeffrey that's just starting to travel, I'm going to give you a great hint here, a pro tip. We had an issue with our gas tank. For those people who were watching, they already know, but we were driving across a railroad crossing in a little town. There's cement underneath the railroad crossing. Our tire hit one side of the cement. It actually flipped a piece of cement up underneath the RV, hit the gas tank and poked a hole in the bottom of the gas tank. All right. Just leaking just a little bit. I look at the gas tank. We're about 80 miles from Vegas, and I told Lori we can make it. So off we go. And we just go hammer down, pull into the campground in Las Vegas, and we call the shop. The shop tells us, well, we went through all the insurance stuff first, but we call the shop and they go, oh, yeah, bring it down, leave it with us. We should be able to do it in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, dude, we live in this thing. I said, this is what's going to happen. Tell me the day that you can inspect it, and I will show up that day. You do the inspection and tell me what parts you need, and then I'll bring it back. And what I had done is I'd used some JB weld to plug the hole of the gasoline enough that we could operate the RV. So that's what they did. We drove it over. We dropped it off for the day. We went and did our stuff, drove around in the car. They did the inspection, said, okay, we need the gas tank. We need the 2 straps. We need this line and stuff like that. We went back and picked it up, went back to the campground and parked. So they ordered all the parts. And then when they got all the parts back in, they again told me, yeah, drop it off and we'll get it back to you in 2 or 3 days. And I'm like, no, that it doesn't take 2 or 3 days to install this gas tank. It takes 1 day. So tell me which 1 day that is that you can install the gas tank. I will drop it off that morning. I will pick it up that night. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we don't need 3 days with it. 1 day will probably be fine. We dropped it off that morning. They fixed the gas tank and picked it up that night. So don't just drop your RV off and let them do whatever they want to do, because that's what they're always going to suggest. Just drop it off and leave it. and it might be 2 or 3 or 4 weeks that you're just sitting there without your RV because they've ordered parts. If they're ordering parts, they don't need your RV sitting there in their shop. They just don't. So let them inspect, take it away, order the parts. When the parts come in, take it back and do it. That's the easiest way to do it. It's absolute easiest way. If you don't and you're full timing, it will be a nightmare. What else we got?
Sorry guys, I'm refilling the glasses, so
Hoping when your daughter was on occasionally, they were going to start a channel to show life on the road with a wheelchair. Yeah. I actually thought they were going to do more about life on the road with a wheelchair as well. But they just, I don't know. It's not easy. Like it's not easy, folks, to do the whole filming everything. And sometimes because of stuff like this, I mean, you're airing all of your dirty laundry, really. Like the comments we got on some of the last videos, I wanted to just slap some people. Like
he takes it too personally.
I take things too personally. And if you're on here and you were one of the people that said it, this was my opinion. Somebody said, I would never pay $6,000 for a Mexican rebuilt motor. Well, don't ever drive in Mexico then. We're 1,000 miles south of the U.S. border in Mexico. What are you supposed to do but get a rebuilt Mexican motor? And it wasn't a rebuilt Mexican motor. It was an imported motor from the U.S. and done here. Somebody said, yeah, I would never let Mexican mechanics work on my rig. That comment got deleted.
That's the kind of stuff I'm not looking forward to going back to the U.S.
So have any of you ever had a mechanic in the United States work on your stuff and they sucked? All of us have.
All the time.
All of us have. There's nothing to do with the Mexican mechanic or an American mechanic. It's finding the right mechanic. That's what it's all about. But comments like that just make me crazy, and I do take it too personally.
He puts the gloves on, and he wants to.
That's the other thing about doing this kind of lifestyle, and I need to grow thicker skin. But at the same time, it is what it is.
By the way, Jerry says that going downtown for a hurricane party tonight. Sorry, but you knowing the keys and excuse for a hurricane party. I was just talking about that with somebody. I can't remember who I was talking because they asked us if we get. It was with Brian and Deb, and I told one thing I learned about Floridians: they don't get nervous about hurricanes. It's like they're like, time for a hurricane party, even if it's a Cat 4. It's like we're not leaving, we're staying, we're just doing a party. It's like, and I will be just like biting my nails. I will be just so stressed out in Orlando when nothing happens in Orlando, but I will be stressed out that I was somewhere around it. So yeah, I know like about Floridians and their hurricane parties.
I'm sure Chuck's already gone, but if you're not gone already, Chuck, we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by, bud.
Okay.
Tom Waters, duct tape. Yes. Make sure you're carrying duct tape with you and some twine or some wire. Yeah, it's twine.
I would say zip ties.
Zip ties too. Yes, zip ties. Like a spool of wire. Yeah. Duct tape.
I would say, yeah. Put down on the chat box what is what you use like to get out from a situation. I mean, but duct tape is definitely a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
John is like, you guys have an above average positive can-do attitude. So it can resolve more problems than the average couple that might tend to argue and get distracted from the possible solutions. I would say I want to think everybody is not too bad, but at the same time, I acknowledge that we are usually, and we're good communicators too. So even when we're parking an RV, we are patient with each other. We talk to each other. Well, if I'm way back, I'm yelling, but we don't get angry at each other. We really don't. Like when I see couples, they're almost divorcing, parking an RV. I'm shocked about it. It's like, I'm really shocked. It's like, but
and I don't break out the camera normally till after my bruises heal. So, after she's beaten me, I don't film for a few days. I let the bruises heal, and then I fire the camera back up again. We don't talk about that. Normally it's like, oh yeah, I hit myself with a wrench, or like today I got a dot in my center of my forehead where I hit myself with a wrench. So if I have a black eye or something, and I tell you it's a wrench or things like that, just know that.
No. But here's the thing: we can be in a broken down RV with a bad attitude or angry, or we can be in a broken down RV with a good attitude, knowing that it's gonna get solved and fixed. So the attitude is what you make it to be. There is no change on the situation itself. You can only change your own attitude. It's like that's how we see it.
Yeah. If Lori even said the other day, if you guys have seen where we are, I don't know if you guys have seen where we are. I should show you guys outside. We're literally living in a mechanic shop. It's ridiculous. Like, it's really ridiculous. And I absolutely love this woman. I absolutely, because most women would not do this.
You guys are here.
Yeah, but most women would not do this. We are literally living in a wrecking yard. It's crazy, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You know? And yeah, if we were made of money, we would have went to an Airbnb and stayed in an Airbnb and had air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. But that's not a possibility.
Well, anyway, it's like Floyd Cooley, that's correct. As you know, I'm not mechanically inclined, but I'm so glad we had the diesel for its reliability. So what do we do when trading? Go with no engine and no truck. That's going to
be interesting.
That's how that. Like, I'm impressed that you guys are doing what you're doing because they bought a fifth wheel that they're gorgeous. Obviously, fifth wheels, they're mini apartments, basically is what they are. And they're going to hire people to tow it. They don't travel as fast. They used to travel faster, but not any longer. So now they're going to pay for other people to tow it to their location where they're working or their winter spot. So it's kind of nice. Also, that it's kind of nice that they don't have to worry about it. And probably the people that they're hiring, their insurance. So they don't have to worry about that.
I got to change glasses. I'm having a hard time seeing the comments from that far away. So the art of negotiation, Lori Lust. The RV places are clueless when you live in it. Yeah, they're used to people that, I just come back from a vacation and I found out that this and this and this is broken and I don't need the thing for another month. So I'll just drop it off and come back and get it. Yeah, that's exactly true, Lori. It's exactly true. So when you live in it, you've got to really be adamant that I live in this thing and we have to do it a different way. And when we did it that way, it worked out great. Like I said, go in, inspect, leave. They order the parts. Go back, repair, leave. It would have, I think it was like 2 weeks from the time they ordered the parts and got them in. So, they just don't know any better. So just let them know, right?
Just want to say hello to Cliff and Vicky. Hey,
Cliff and Vicky, what's happening, guys?
We were going to go through Vegas.
Yeah,
so we're going to touch base with you guys, but obviously it didn't happen. And right now it's like probably super hot already there. But I was going to read another one that was here. It's like, forever fixing, but comments count to still as a comment. So yeah, it counts as a comment, but comments, just take it positive, Paul. Take it positive.
Yeah, I need to just let it go. But some people are so condescending and just like offer up life advice and things, unwanted life advice.
Imperial RVing, a box of assorted hose clamps as part of your kit.
That's not a bad idea. I do have a few that are just there because I've got them.
A box of fuses.
Oh yeah, definitely. You definitely want a bunch of fuses for sure. Various sizes. That's any kind of car, truck. I want to have fuses in there.
Dead Snow finally on. Hi everyone. Today was moving day. Just selling up, and our kids popped by. We were talking about you guys a minute ago. So
so glad you guys weren't here to hear it.
Yeah. Wasn't good.
Tom Waters, his favorite pastime is watching couples trying to back into a site.
Oh my God.
I need to start videotaping that.
That's any RVer. Like, we are all just on the window, trying not to be seen so we don't look nosy, but we want to see how they're doing it. And you're like, oh my God, every time.
Yeah, this is us when the neighbor's backing into the site.
I think that's anybody.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the boat channels, like the Miami boat ramps, where the people are trying to back their boats down in the water. It's fascinating to watch. Lori and I watch it all the time.
But it can be a channel about that for RV.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna. Don't anybody steal my idea. We're gonna do a channel where we're going, today in the campground, we watched this couple try to back their trailer into an RV
Yeah,
site.
because they do commentary and everything.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe people buy a boat and a trailer and never try to back it up before they actually get to the boat ramp. It's freaking hilarious.
Oh my God. It's just something, but RVs is the same thing. Like, remember our trip to pick up trailer over the long weekend, Paul, Ontario to Florida and back. Deb Snowing. Oh,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not. It's recorded. We will know that what you said about. But we're just talking. I can tell you right now about like you guys like have the cost of owning a diesel. Sometimes it's pretty high when it comes to mechanics. So yeah. Anyway, plus and cons, right?
Well, that's just it. A diesel will tend to be more reliable in the long run.
On the long run, yeah.
But if it does have a breakdown, it's gonna be costly.
Yes, and we have found out that from several people many times. like
I think Randy and Deb just said what it would have cost to fix their exhaust is what we're replacing our entire engine. I think that's what it was. It was pretty close. It was pretty damn close.
But yeah, anyway, so it's still a struggle here. We're still hot, but we're excited.
But yeah, we've got almost 100 people on here now. So we'll go back a little bit because we started off earlier, and the motor's in. The motor's in. It's running. We could have left La Paz today, but we didn't because there is a storm a-brewing, the first storm of the year. Storm Alvin is out there in the Pacific heading this way. It's going to be a tropical depression. So it's not going to be horrible. It's going to be 30, 35 mile an hour winds, which we get here in the wintertime for kite season anyways. But yes, the motorhome is running. The front end is back on. We put the front end on today. It's all bolted up and fluids are in and it is good to go. So we're going to do a test starting Monday, probably 4 days in the south end here. We're going to do just a couple of day drive or 1 full day drive, I guess. And then a couple or 3 days in Los Barriles. And then vamonos.
And out. If everything is good, out.
So we should be in Palm Springs by next weekend.
Oh, yeah. Craig and Kelly.
Craig and Kelly. So you know.
We're just finding out today, too, because today is when they put everything together. But anyway, Deb Snow said, exhaust manifold and turbo ways cost them 7,000 Canadian dollars. Oh, that's like 2,000 American dollars.
Yeah, it's like $600-700 American.
Sorry, guys.
Just kidding.
There's always the joke about Canadian dollars versus American dollars, but
still seven. It's about 6,000 US. So yeah, it's almost the same.
Now you're not gonna have those costs anymore. Now you have a new rig. Whoop whoop.
John Sanase. What's the plan with the solar project upgrade? It's only the batteries, John. So yeah, it is only the batteries. Our solar, it rocks. Here's the thing. It's solar lately. I've seen a lot of channels or a lot of stuff online about, we just added 2,000 watts of solar and 1,000 amp hours of battery and all this. And I'm like, it is so unnecessary to have that much solar and that much battery. We've been running since we put this in 2018, we have 250 amp hours of battery, 250 amp hours and 1,000 watts of solar. And we went we were in Alaska. Alaska's a little different because it's stays sunny most of the day. Oh, yeah. But we went 80 days or 90 days without ever having to plug in, without ever having to worry about the batteries. Now our batteries could only go to 50%. So we have 500 amp hours, but we could only go to 50%. So we can only go 250 amp hours of usable, and never had an issue. We could run on solar, and overnight we could run microwaves. We could run the induction, TVs, charging, everything that we could do.
We really can do it. I know there's a lot of people, but I will say the one thing I don't do that I know a lot of the ladies, even here in the chat, I know they do, is like they dry their hair every day. Like they shower, they dry their hair. I don't dry my hair, so I don't have that pull of power because all the heat. That's the one thing I learned. All the heating tools is what takes a lot of power.
The only thing we cannot do, and the thing that everybody asks, is we cannot run our AC overnight. So we could run our AC in the middle of the day with the with solar on, we could only run our one AC for about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. So that's the biggest question is, can you run your AC on your solar? No, we cannot. We are about to go to 560 amp hours because we're going to go from 4 250 amp hour batteries. I know that's weird that only works out to 250 amp hours. But when you parallel in series a 6-volt battery, you up the voltage one way, amperage the other. I won't get too deep into that. But we're going to go to 280 amp hour lithium batteries. So we will have full use of that, 560 amp hours. I will bet that we can probably run one AC, and we'll do a test and let everybody know. We can probably run one AC overnight on that. Here's the thing about that. If I have to run an AC overnight while we're camping, we are not in the right place.
We're in the wrong place. Yeah.
We're in the wrong place. It's just not necessary. Why are you in a place that's that hot that you have to run AC overnight on your solar? Go somewhere and plug in if you're going to do that. Or go somewhere that's cooler. We have wheels on these things. We can choose to be in the cooler places in the mountains. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to hit Palm Springs, and then we're going to bounce to the mountains. Like we could spend the summer in the Southwest, but that's not our idea of a good time, is being inside of an RV when it's 110. Your AC can only cool it so much anyways. So why be in that environment? So we're going to try and get to a mountain or to the coast as quickly as we possibly can. Our plan changes every other day. We're us and plans that we don't really plan.
It started with going to Washington and Oregon, and then it's like, oh nope, we're not gonna go there. Let's go to Colorado, and now our summer is gonna get shorter because of the time of the year we're crossing the border. So it's like, yeah, we're changing plans. So we have 2 routes we're still discussing, but we still don't know which one we're gonna take.
With fuel prices the way they are nowadays, if we just go and burn a bunch of miles in a few months just to try and burn miles, it's just the cost of that is ridiculous. So we don't want to do that. So we're thinking maybe the mountains in Southern California.
We still don't know. Like, don't even say where, because we still don't know.
We don't
know.
That's
the thing. We're still seeing routes based basically on cooling, on areas where it's cool and we can be comfortable. Basically,
I do think San Diego is going to be in our future.
Oh
though.
Yeah.
So Tim, we're going to need some place to go watch karaoke. I want to see you doing some karaoke.
Yeah, actually, that's the one thing we agree. It's like we're crossing the border, so it's a very easy stop to kind of like gather ourselves back and just enjoy a little bit of the cooler weather in San Diego. Because it doesn't matter if it's the middle of the summer, they have beautiful nights in San Diego. So that's going to be probably our first stop going north. And oh yeah, Deb, she got her cut short, so now there's no hair dryer. Problem solved. I know, that's a big. I have never done it. I feel like that's a very Mexican. They don't unless we're going out and we're really getting dressed up. We don't dry our hair just because. But I have noticed that in North America, I'm talking Canadians and Americans, it's like they do. Like it's an everyday occurrence. Every time they shower occurs. So it's like. Anyway, it's just different. That's a cultural difference. So I don't feel like I have to do it every day because of that. Well, you know how beautiful the Sierra Nevadas are in the summer. Yes, they are beautiful. I love that area. I really love that area. It's just to get in there. Sometimes that is hard because that's the one thing that we talk about some of our original plans is like going through Utah to get to North Colorado. And we're like, it's going to be hot. It's like, where are we going to, like Paul said, burn through all this fuel just to get there? It just doesn't make sense to us. But again, we're still on discussions about what we're doing.
Yeah, in the end, we might decide we're going to burn fuel and go to Colorado. Who knows?
Jeffrey Wells, do you tend to revisit the same places every year? No. We were talking about that the other day because Paul is more nostalgic about places. He likes to go to places like, oh my God, I remember that restaurant. I remember that place. We should go there. And I'm the kind that is like, we've been there. Let's do something new. Let's do something different. It's like, so let's go to new places. So we do a little bit of both. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like Paul. It's like sometimes we go to places we've been before, and sometimes we just go on and explore
Try
new
to
places.
mix it. Try to mix it in a little bit.
Yeah, and the one thing we're talking about is definitely next summer go to an area, an actual full area that we have never been before. And I'm just hoping and shooting and pushing for the Michigan area because
the Upper Peninsula would be
supposed
good.
to be beautiful, and we have never been there.
And we could visit my family in Ontario.
So let's see what Destiny has for us.
Yeah.
But that's one of the goals maybe for next year.
Hotel boys, have you ever used Dicor on your RV roof, putting on the cracks tomorrow? Yeah, I don't use specifically Dicor. That's the best. I use a self-leveling caulk, and you gotta have it, man. You just gotta have it. I will sometimes take off the old stuff and then lay new down, and sometimes I don't. Usually, if it's a couple of years old, then I do it almost every year. And I didn't the entire time we were down in Los Barillas. And when we were getting ready to leave, I did a couple of spots. But before we get into some really heavy rain areas, I'm going to need to redo some spots. But yeah, that's Dicor's the bomb.
I would say when he was gone in Juneau, there was one of the storms that we have a lot of rain. It's the first time ever that I found a leak, but we don't know from where it's coming.
Yeah.
Because it's pouring down from the light. Oh, look who's out.
Look who's out. He's
and
behind
actually,
hiding.
It's like they were just asking about you, Ozzy.
Hey, Ozzy, come here, buddy. Here, hold on.
He's like, nope.
Look.
He said,
look, it's Ozzy. Hey, buddy. Come on, man.
Come on.
Everybody wants to see you. They can't see you if you're there.
Like, I will have to do
there you
this.
Go. There you go. Look at how fat he is. Oh my God, he's so fat.
They cannot see it because you're with a black shirt.
Black shirt and black Ozzy. There you go.
Hey, he's like,
look in the camera, Oz.
Now I have to pat him on the back because of his back issues. So, oh look, he's hanging out.
He's hanging out. He's like, all right. He goes, what are all those people saying down there, Ozzy? This collie coach says, happy you get to move on to other adventures. Hope they are happy ones. Us too. Thank you. Appreciate that. Put it back up a little bit.
He sat down.
Craig, yeah, you know how beautiful the Sierra Nevadas are. Yeah, absolutely, Craig, and that's what we were thinking. You know, the Sierra Nevadas are just amazing. What else?
Proof of life on Ozzy. That's funny. I know. He has become he has changed a lot in his older years. He's already 12. Like he turned 12 on April. And I would say he has become more. He has a lot of quirks. Right? Ozzy.
Yeah, he's going through some.
He's
going through some stuff.
He's going through changes, and obviously he doesn't feel good all the time because whatever it is that he has not been diagnosed with what he has ever, and he has small pains. That's why I keep doing this on his back, small pains. But it's like, I mean, doesn't matter if he has pains. He goes out and chase on lizards and chase on anything. He loves going outside and doing stuff. But so he's always doing something.
I don't think he's long for this world, though.
He's like, hey, don't listen.
I don't think so.
Don't listen to him.
I'm just preparing myself because I'm not really a pet person. I see future sadness.
Present happiness, Paul. Present happiness.
I see future sadness.
I know I'm gonna outlive my cat. Hopefully, we never know.
You never know.
Never know, but sometimes it's like present happiness.
Yeah.
But this little guy is doing good, just with little
right.
quirks here and there. He's in his old years now. He wakes me up now like at 6 a.m. As soon as there's a little bit of light out, he wakes me up. He's like, feed me, Mom. He's like
little guy. What is he, like 14 pounds, 16 pounds? He's not little.
I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna cut me to pieces.
Yeah, lay him
down. So how's Ozzy handling all the uncertainty? Yeah,
he's not liking it.
He doesn't like it.
I would say they have animals around here, and he hears them, so he's very cautious going out. We're cautious. I am cautious, always letting him out too, always trying to watch for things coming, right? But the mechanics being around the RV too, he gets spooked, and he goes in the heights all day long with this heat. no air, and he doesn't want to drink water, come out to drink water. So yeah, so he has not been in a good place already for a week, but we're gonna start traveling and we're gonna go back to the routine that he usually has, even when we travel. So he'll be fine.
John Chalker in the house. John, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Glad you made it in.
Long time to see you. Positive vibes for Aussie. Thank you. Thank you,
Earl McAlpine. Earl's been around with the community a long time. Robin and I are staying south Haven, Michigan, on the east of the lake, and it's see, there you go. We want to get up there, Earl. 53 degrees. We're gonna wait till it gets a little bit warmer though. We'll wait till it gets a little bit warmer.
We roll slowly over there.
As much as we don't want to use our AC, we don't want to use the heater either. So if we're in a spot where we have to use the AC or the heater, we know we need to keep moving.
SB says, would you ever put the camera on Aussie cam when he goes out? That would be funny because even with his limping and
we don't
his
know where he's
bad
going.
leg, sometimes we don't know where he goes, but he's a feisty dude. He has been a house cat his whole life, but he will go out and fight the cats, the neighborhood cats that have been here forever. He will go out and find them and kick them out from here, the lot. That is not even his house, but now he's obviously adopted as his house. So he's a feisty dude. I wonder what he does. He's like, Ellen, then and Ellen are here. Hi, guys. We're late.
Deb,
late.
So Ozzy's roaming here. So the front gate is locked here, and we're in the back behind the building. So he wanders all through the cars and stuff that are around us, and wanders through there and goes back and visits the pigs that are back here. I don't know if we talked about those, but there's pigs back there. We
don't talk.
We haven't been mentioning that because we're not happy with their living conditions.
I'm an animal person, and believe me, they hear me because I tell them.
Yes, she does.
That's the one thing I will say. Maybe I might be annoying to them because I'm always like, give them water, or they
need food.
They need food, or this kind of stuff. Like
we provide them with water every day.
While I'm here, is like they're well taken care of. But my concern is when we leave. But actually today, animal control is here.
Yeah, so somebody else complained
because obviously they're not cleaning how they're supposed to be cleaning as well. So anyway, so long story just to say
it's a mechanic shop, not a farm. And literally the weekend we got here, the mama pig had 10 piglets. That's crazy.
Oh.
So, 9. One didn't make
10.
it. 10, one didn't make it. But anyways,
but
so Ozzy being used to roam, he's been roaming around here.
Part of his quirks that now he doesn't want to listen. If you've been around us or know us, it's like he goes out and stays close to the RV. He still does it unless he gets comfortable. But now his signal to come in, it was a clap. We will clap, he will come in. It was his signal. Now we clap and clap.
Not as much.
He doesn't do it. He refuses to come in. So it's like he's enjoying his outside. And I think he got used to on the property to be outside all the time whenever he wanted. He had like a little door where he goes out. He cannot come in, jump in, but he can jump out. So he will jump out and just go whenever he wants. And he got used to that and not having to have commands. So he got spoiled.
See what Jerry says? That's got to be Jerry. That can't be Linda. He goes, no wonder Ozzy has back issues. Lori's been beating him for 30 minutes now.
What? No.
Jerry, you are a funny bastard.
I think I'm going to bang you. Let me tell you. I'm just kidding. But yes, he's used to roaming around.
US 1 Tahoe's in. Yes. Just popped into the live. That's what we love. We love that you guys can pop in and come and go because we know like an hour and a half, 2 hours is a long time for some people.
Yeah, and if we do it sometimes this long, it's because we know people go in and out. They watch 30 minutes and then they just kind of like leave or something like that. Yeah. So we're all good.
So you just come on. Yes, the engine is done. It was fired up yesterday. We finished putting the rig together today. So we put all the fiberglass back on, the hood back on, buttoned everything down. We could have left this afternoon, but there is a storm in the peninsula, going to hit the peninsula tomorrow. Luckily, it has been downgraded to a tropical depression, so now we're not going to leave till Monday.
Still small things that need to be done before we leave. But Imperial RVing, did you guys ever have $1,000 membership? We used to have. We don't have not had it in quite a while anymore, but we're thinking of actually having it again.
We only had camping passes, and it worked. It worked great for us.
It did. It really did. Like, but I think Chuck is gone because I know he has like the full-on membership, like the big one, and I was gonna ask him about that. But
I think Debbie and Randy, do you guys have the big membership as well, the lifetime thing? If you are going to be a full-time traveler and you are going to be doing, and you know that this is the thing that you're going to be doing for a long time now, the big memberships that are like, I don't know, 10 grand, 15 grand, they're worth it. They really are. Like free camping literally for forever. And then every year you pay it works kind of like a timeshare where you pay
every year you have your dues that you have to pay. That is like, depending on the membership, I think it's from $600 to $1,000 a year, but then you have access to all these campgrounds for free after that. Yeah. So if you're full timing and you make the numbers, it makes sense.
Make sense.
The good thing, I mean, it was a love-hate with the situation. Love the economics of it, but we were not in love with the campgrounds.
I'm not a big fan of Thousand Trail campgrounds.
But they change. I don't think they change ownership. I think they changed the marketing and I think the presence, something like that. And since they coming from the golf industry, and it has gone a lot better. Every campground received a budget to be improved. The pool areas have been improved. The gym areas have been improved. Like so many areas have been improved. So, and you can see it. You can really, they start actually getting rid of the people that were abused in the system. And they were living on RVs that were almost falling apart. So they start getting rid of that. They were like more, like this is more a family friendly oriented kind of like place and all that kind of stuff. So they start putting rules about that. So they don't have a 10-year rule or anything like that. But your rule cannot be falling apart either. Like hell with duct tape. So they started doing stuff like that has made the campgrounds better.
Now for us, we did the Southwest and the Southeast. Had the
I'm gonna feed those. Yeah,
what's the add-on, Lori? Trails collection. So we had the Southwest and Southeast and the Trails collection, which would cost us about, I think, $750 or $800 a year, and then you have access to all those campgrounds in the Southwest and Southeast. From an economic standpoint, it works great. Like I said, I was never a big fan of the campgrounds, but yeah, I think it's worth it.
There's some great ones. It's like we went to the two in the Keys. They were amazing. It's like Conroy in Texas, amazing campground.
Conroy, Texas.
It's like
is
the
awesome,
one in Crystal River, amazing campground. It's like there's some campgrounds that are really worth it.
Yep. John Sinessi, how's Kevin and Laura? They're great. I talk to Kevin almost every day now. So
now that they're working together, it's like a everyday occurrence. But they're doing great, I have to say. Like, actually, Kevin is working out a lot. He's like,
oh my God, Kevin looks great. He lost a bunch of weight. I saw a video of him doing like, I don't know what you call it, like this standing jump up onto a box.
Like there's a box that goes up to, I would say his hip or something like that, and he can jump it that high.
Yeah, he looks amazing. Like he looks absolutely amazing. They're doing great. Yeah, we'd love to get up there this year. I don't think we're going to make it that far north. I just don't think we're going to make it all the way to Canada.
Oh, Deb's says that they do have full membership now. Yeah. It's like we've been thinking about it. We've been talking about it.
I think it's worth it.
Or it's just kind of like talking about if we buy straight from them or a resale because it's like, Anyway, he's like, it's a way to do it.
Hotel Boz, the new engine the RV should fly. Yeah, we hope. We're telling the mechanics if they could show us how to get 10 to 15 miles a gallon out of this thing, we could be multimillionaires. They could not believe that we get 6 miles a gallon. They were just like, what?
They're like, ouch.
Ouch.
They're like, they were making numbers in their head pretty quick, and they're like, oh, every time you fill up is this amount. I was like, yeah.
Like, we're like, liquid rent sucks.
And they're so funny, the mechanics. They're like, well, now we need to go testing. It's like, let me grab my fishing pole and let's go testing to Los Santos and to Cabo. So they were up for the trip around the peninsula to test their RV. They're funny.
Cheryl Ann, this is a great question because it's something we're pondering. What video posting schedule and style are you planning? I find myself enjoying long form rambling conversation. Well, then you will enjoy watching us on the lives because all it is rambling.
The life is this.
So I've been wanting for the past 6 months to do Tuesday, Saturday. Like that's been what I've been trying to do, but I just haven't had enough content. And, I could post some stuff of just daily, just boring stuff, but don't want to do that. But who knows? People would probably watch that. The long form content seems to be more popular now. Like you're getting into 30 or 40 minutes. So we may do some of that. We may do less vlog style where us talking to the camera, because we do that a lot. And I know that kind of annoys people. So we might talk on camera while we're showing stuff, but be less in camera ourselves, maybe some voiceover and things like that.
We want to show you what we're seeing.
We want to highlight places. We want to show travel places more than show our daily lives.
I know some people are not going to like the change because they're used to our style that we're talking and showing and all that good stuff. So it's going to change a little bit, definitely. But I think it's going to be for the positive, showing you the places where to go, what you can see on each area where you're staying. And like literally, there's one comment that we received about, and I totally 100% agree. Oh, I actually think it was your mom that said, I want to see the place, not your face. And
yeah, that was my mom.
And I'm like, I agree with you there. Yeah, you're correct.
I agree.
We should be showing more of the stuff we're seeing, not our faces. You know our faces. It's like, so we need to show more of that. So we were going to change the format definitely a little bit when we start traveling. But I think until we start getting to places up north in the U.S., I think until then we're still going to stay with our regular format. And then we change it once we're over there.
And we'll try. We're going to test some things. We'll see what happens. But we want to be more about showing places than showing us and our lives as much. But we'll see. Yeah. Hey, Dan, what's happening?
Dan and Tracy. It's like they're going to be at one of the cabins in Disney the week before Christmas, so we can stop by.
Ooh,
is that an invitation? He's like, I love those guys. He's like, especially Tracy.
Our Disney buddies.
He's like, we're currently at one Peace River in Florida.
Yeah.
That's
Peace River's pretty decent.
White Chula, right?
Now, I will say the first year we stayed there, we did not like it the first time.
No.
We had some crazy-ass neighbors that were just not fun and should not have been in that campground.
And it was a tight campground. The good spots are I think the partial hookups are next to the river.
Yeah, those are some great spots down there. But overall, it's a pretty nice campground.
In that area was literally the only area I could find real tortillas. I'm not talking about your Mission tortillas or something. It was like the real deal was right there in that area.
The problem with Peace River is that we couldn't move. It was packed to the gills.
Oh, in wintertime. Yeah.
There wasn't another spot, and the people right behind us were just this crazy loud family of like, I don't know, 6 or something like that. It was not good. It was not good.
Silver Horse says, did you ever camp at Fort Wilderness when you work at Disney? No one here worked at Disney. I worked there. And we tried. It was always full. Like when we were there, we tried a couple of times and it was like full. Yeah. So we couldn't stay there.
But we have stayed there
before that.
No, we've only stayed once in our RV.
Once before. I would like to stay there, and I know it's very hard to get in, but in Halloween or in Christmas time, I think it will be amazing to stay and have bicycles and go around all the loops and check out all the displays that people put. It's insane. It's like, I would say I love Disney, but Disney people are crazy in a good way. Like they go beyond expectations when it comes to setting things up. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, don't forget to mention Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome.
We've never used Boondockers Welcome.
We have never used it. Now it's part of the same membership. When we used to use Harvest Host, it was still not part of the same stuff. But now
we love Harvest Host.
But we love, I will say,
I like the new owners.
Never ever found it to be a cheap situation. Like you free camping, it was never free. I would say the East Coast has better options than the West Coast. West Coast has a lot of wineries, distilleries, and all that stuff. That if you go for a bottle of wine, it's gonna be pricey. So you're basically buying the experience at that point. You're not saving money.
Yeah, they tout it as a free camping thing, but
it's not. But I love it. In the East Coast, what they have a lot of farms, so you can go and buy your organic produce or stuff like that, or you will go to a cranberry area. It was amazing. You will buy all the products and it was good. But I would say East Coast has more options in that respect than West Coast, and can become Now, Boondockers, welcome. Never tried. Have heard many good things about it, but we never did try it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But the I will say, yeah, the farmers markets thing. If you can
Sure.
stay somewhere that you're going to spend money anyways, that's a great deal. So the farmers market, that's what they're about. Like if we knew that there was a farm that we could stay on and buy food, then you're buying that food anyways. So yeah, that's awesome about Harvest Host. Earl, don't give up
Yeah.
your life for a 2 times a week show. No, I agree with that. That's something we definitely don't want to do.
Nathan and Tessie. Hey, you two. Hey,
You guys, Nathan and Tess.
Yeah. Seeking Serenity, my favorite video area you have is the national parks in Cali. You are hiking in nature, enjoying the wildlife.
We definitely want to do that.
That's what I was expecting to do this year. I wanted to go through all, there is this route in Utah that we're going to go through Vegas and then going to go basically Wildfire, Zion, Bryce, and then you go through Capitol Reef, Escalante area, all Arches, all that area. So we were going to hike our way through Utah is what we're going to do. But by the time we cross the border, it's already too hot in that area. So, and monsoon season is going to start too. So there's some areas that are dangerous too there because of that.
Craig says, with so many channels using AI, a lot of people appreciate seeing an actual person hosting their videos. Just food for thought. This is AI. We're not real. You guys thought you were talking to real people, or are we?
Or is it the Matrix? You never know. Is what I say.
Definitely, if I could clone myself to do the videos, that would be amazing. But yeah, no, we won't be doing AI for that sort of stuff. Kayaking down the Peace River with the alligators was cool. Yeah, that is at Peace River.
See, every time I kayak in Florida, for me, my heart was always beating like, oh my God, especially one time there was like a big sound and we couldn't see it, but we know it was a gator. But then we're like kayaking the Peace River and we're seeing these gators left, right? And we are like, oh my God, let's go far away, leave them alone, right? Not get too close to them. And then there's this older couple on their waders in the Peace River looking for shark.
Well, that was a different. It is the Peace River. It is Peace River. Yeah, it was.
It was not at the campground, I would say.
Not at the campground. It's further down, where it's a little bit wider.
Wider and deeper. But these guys are like in the water, like not just looking for shark teeth. It's like it's what they were. And Paul and I, old chicken, just kind of like on our kayak. So we realized we don't have to fear about the gators, but they're intimidating. They are intimidating.
Hotel boss, we spend more at Harvest Host, we lose it. Yeah, absolutely. Like you go, oh, look at this beautiful free winery, and they come in and start tasting. The next thing you know, you're 2-3 bottles in at $30 a bottle or whatever, or $20 a bottle.
And you don't feel the spending sometimes, even if it's a farm, you don't feel it because you're so spending in a happy way. Like, let me get some of this, let me get some of that, and this is homemade, whatever. And all of a sudden you go to the cashier and $40-$50 later, you're like, go have stay at the campground. But you have the experience. So that's the whole thing about Harvest Coast, is about the experience.
Imperial RV, have a great night. Thanks for the update. Safe travels. Hope to meet you someday. Hope to meet you guys as well.
Definitely.
If you guys see us out on the road, make sure you stop in and say hello.
For Wilderness Campground, you have to book 499 days in advance. 500, yeah. That's really how those people get their spot for Halloween and Christmas. You have to call. Can book 499 stays out. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's a long time. I know that there is like a little loophole that if you go to some of the travel agents, like the Disney travel agents, they might do something for you. Basically.
Well, that's what you're saying. You got to call. I think that's how you got to do it.
You're like, but yeah, that's a toughie.
I've heard of campers being denied due to age of RV. Have you ever been denied? We have not been.
There was one time that we were not denied, but they asked us, it was a 10-year campground, and they asked us for a picture of our RV.
And everybody's heard that story, I think, too.
But with that being said, that was when we were very close to the 10-year mark. Like, it was just 1 year after. So it was like 11 years old back then. That was at the very beginning of our travels. And when we arrived, we did not belong there.
Felt like the Beverly Hillbillies.
The cheapest RV in that campground, like the cheapest, it was like a $500,000 RV.
That was
in
Destin, Florida. It was the Destin RV Resort, and that place was all cobblestone path, and it was beautiful campground. Small. It only had 40, 50 sites, something like that. But yeah, we were somewhat embarrassed to be in there with our
Paul
RV.
found I would say there was only one RV that it was an older RV, but it was a very unique RV. That's the one you fell in love with.
The Airstream.
And it's an Airstream Class A, but it has a deck on top. So your rooftop actually opens up to a full-on deck.
Yeah, you should Google that.
And
Airstream Sky Deck is what it's called.
And inside it has the little stairs where you go up and you can go to your deck. It was pretty cool. So that was the only older RV that was there besides us. But besides that, there's when I found out the very high-end brands that nobody talks about because Mule or stuff like that. I didn't know about them before. And there's where I saw all those RVs.
Right. Traveling Robert's in the house. Robert, how are you, bud? We haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah.
He was just doing a live because I think he does a live. Oh, do you do your lives on Fridays? I can't remember. But good to see you, bud. Yeah. We were just watching something of his the other day. What were we watching?
I don't remember, but yeah, definitely.
We were just watching some of your stuff the other day, bud.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Hope really that's good.
And he says Baja Bus 2026. Come on down here.
Yeah, come on down, buddy.
I would say for RVers, it has become extremely popular to do the Baja trek. I think it has been more out there that it's okay to come down as an RV. And I would say it still has its tricky parts too. It's like, but for the most part, it's not intimidating. Most people can see all the videos online and stuff like that and get around. But every year you see more and more and more RVs coming down. So, and especially a lot of unlifers. The one downside of coming down to Baja is just the fuel prices. Well, two downsides: fuel prices, and also the roads, the tight roads, no shoulder. We were talking about that today with the mechanics as well. It's like they're like, you're gonna go up north with this, and it's like, yep, done it 3 times already. So the one thing I would say is that Paul says Freya is gonna go up, but it's not gonna come down again.
I don't think we're gonna bring it back down.
It's just a little bit too stressful on the road. So if we come down, I think we will come down in a smaller rig, or we don't know. It's like we're still talking about it too.
Baja, Mexico could increase their, maybe they don't want to. I mean, it would change it, but they could increase their tourism down here by tenfold if they just put that much more road in. Just this much more. That's it. Or maybe that much more on each side, but a foot. Just an extra foot and pave it. That's all they need to do, and they would just kill with tourism down here. But the road is so scary narrow. It is just ridiculous.
And there's drops. Like you see that in Alaska too. When they build the road up, I don't know for what reason, if I'm honest with you. It's like maybe to put filler in there and pack it down. But yeah, you have no shoulder, and then if you drop the tire, it's gonna be bad. So yes, it's not like things happen too often. I would say there's a lot of RVers that come down here, but I don't hear or see, and I'm in all the groups from Baja, but I don't hear or see people having a lot of issues coming down. So it's just about being careful, basically, at the end of the day.
Silver Horse 32 met you guys in St. Augustine at dinner with you. I think I remember you guys. What are your names? Because we met 2 couples there. So
yeah, Silver Horse.
Chris.
Yeah, so hurricane hits everywhere. Charlie Robert did Angel's Landing. He has no fear. I want to do Angel's Landing.
Yeah, we've never done it.
But I don't know if I could do it right now just because I'm not in good shape. Like, we've been in sea level, flat area, no hiking into mountains. I need to get back into my hiking gear and get hiking. Start training first. Because I would say the one hike I would like to do is the rim to rim in the Grand Canyon.
Ooh, that'd be fun, yeah.
That's one.
That'd be good.
The other one I would like to do is the Santiago Trail in Europe. But that's,
we definitely need to do that.
And that's a 500-mile trail. So that's a many, many, many weeks. So, anyway, so I need to start into training mode to get there.
Yep. I hear margarita prices are really good, Robert. Yes, margarita prices are pretty good down here. If you stay out of the tourist areas, like even here in La Paz, if you're on the Malecon, they're one price, and then you go like 2 blocks off the Malecon, and then they're half price, not quite half price.
I can tell you where all the good margaritas are.
Yeah.
But I can tell you the one margarita is very popular, and all the people that we came down on the caravan.
Oh my goodness.
I would say if you're drinking, don't be by yourself because it's like it hits you. It really hits you.
The Margarita Damianas.
The Margarita Damiana and
Todos Santos.
Tequila Sunrise in Todos Santos. They're good, but oh my God, be careful. Beware and be careful. But
one of them, you'll be feeling good. Two of them, you're going to be really wound up. And three of them, you're going to be blackout drunk.
There is no three. There is no three. There's one. Only one.
Did you ever get Freya fixed? Yeah, that's part of tonight, Robert, is we're celebrating that Freya is running as of yesterday, all put together as of today. We were going to leave, but there's a storm brewing. So we're not going to roll out of here till Monday. It was a hurricane downgraded to a tropical depression. We want to do a loop in the south end here from La Paz, Cabo San Lucas, Los Barillas, and back up just to do a test run. And then we'll roll out on probably Thursday or Friday of next week.
It's funny because some water says who needs a left mirror, and the one says like Randy agrees. Just a left hand mirror is optional. That's Baja.
We still don't have our left hand mirror. We never replaced it. It's still the mirror. I think it was Kelly. Kelly gave me a makeup mirror.
We still have it.
It was Kelly or Lori. I can't remember who gave it to me, but I have one of the ladies' makeup mirrors duct taped to the little stub of an arm where our mirror was.
We're like that crab that has a little arm and a big arm. We're like an RV that way, like a crab that way.
Yeah. So
but
we still have that.
A lot of the RVers coming down to Baja, sometimes the lanes are so narrow that they lose their side mirror. So the other Class A, very smartly, and Paul always does this, but he didn't do it this time. I don't know why. They put the mirrors in a little bit.
And that's all I needed was just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And the other truck was not on the fall. Paul was not on the fall. We were in the right place, both of us. It was just that tight that it took out the mirrors. So, Robert, if you're coming in your small Class C, definitely a big plus because it's more manageable. We are actually thinking, we have been,
that's the video we just watched, Robert. You went over to San Diego and didn't get that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
True.
That's the video we just watched. Because we've been researching San Diego a little bit because we're on our way there.
Yes. So, it's like, but that Class C, I would say if we could full time on that, 2 people with all the things that we have and all the toys we have, I will do it. It's like because like we talk about, we get along, we will not kill each other, but it's a great RV. Those small class C, right? It's not like B plus. I'm not sure like how to call it.
Here 2 RVers. How about a Sprinter down here? Perfect. That's the great. Oh. That's the best travel rig for coming down here. Now I would say the best travel rig for coming down here would be a 4-wheel drive Sprinter.
Yes.
Like if you can do a 4-wheel drive Class B, that's just perfect because then you have access to all the beach parking spots as well, which some of them are just stunning. If you have a 4-wheel drive where you can get out to some of these beaches. Now, if you guys saw in our first year coming down here, we stayed in some crazy beaches that we shouldn't have stayed in this like we usually do because we like pushing our luck. But if you're in a 4-wheel drive Class B,
the thing about Baja is that it's full of dirt roads that go to beautiful places, but some of those dirt roads are very sandy.
Or big dips and stuff.
Big dips. So yeah, 4-wheel drive or bring like we see a lot of the Jeeps here and everything, they carry those like little platforms that is like if you get stuck, you put those little platforms under your tires and you get out of the sand. So you have to come with that kind of stuff if you're really going to explore a lot of the cool places.
Yeah. Stephen Reyna in the house. Hey, guys. Hope you're enjoying Mexico, or if you're still in Mexico. I don't know if you're over on the mainland there now.
Yeah, and Dan and Ellen, how will a Sprinter do down there?
That's what I just said.
Oh, just sorry. So, yeah, the 4-wheel definitely is like... So, Stephen Reyna, do you guys like Sayulita? We were talking about it the other day because they're in the mainland, and I asked them what they like. If they like over there better or down here, and they say they like some things from here and some things from there.
Because it's more tropical over on the mainland there. More tropical.
There's more jungle over there. Yeah. More jungly.
More jungly.
See?
Yeah, it is. It is a word.
We have an inside joke because I call things jungly, and Paul is like, that's not a word.
She said that once when we were hiking in Hawaii. She goes, oh my God, this is so jungly. And I'm like, that's not even a word.
And it's in the dictionary.
And it's in the dictionary.
So it is a word. So.
But yeah, that's ideal if you're coming down here. A truck camper, truck campers works great because you can do 4-wheel drive in a truck camper. That works great. But a Class C will be fine, Robert.
And I will say,
just you just got to be careful not to get
trailer. Trailer is good too because obviously you're driving on a regular size truck, so it's like pulling a trailer will be fine too. It's when you get into the big stuff like the fifth wheels or you get into the motorhomes, that kind of stuff. That driving in Baja, it is intimidating. Tom will say here, Tom and Faye, they dropped a tire when they were going back north in San Felipe.
Scared the heck out of themselves.
Scared, yeah, but they did good. Nothing happened. They did very good, but it just happens. So you just need to be extremely careful with what you bring, what you do, pay attention, and that kind of stuff. And right now, going north, we understand there's going to be a lot of potholes. In the many years we have been coming down here, there's always North Baja that is not 5 is good, but once you get into 1, it's potholy. Everybody knows that, so everybody takes their time. But once you get into South Baja, it's usually good all the way. This season has been bad.
Yeah.
After the storm season, night season, they never fixed the potholes, so they just became worse and worse and worse and worse. So right now, we're gonna take really our time going back north. And again, there's many people that travel Baja, so a lot of people going up north and they make it over there. It's just you just need to take our time. So it's intimidating, but it's not impossible. You just need to take our time. It's kind of like going to Alaska. It's intimidating, but you just need to take your time. You'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
8.5 wide cargo trailer being towed on those roads doesn't sound fun.
It depends on how long it is, really. But yeah. 8.5, you're starting to get wide. Like Motorhome, like the Class A, Lori and Brian Buchanan, they have a 42 foot, or is it 45? So they're a big rig, and they made it fine, but it's hairy. And what's funny is that you forget that though. Like you get down here and you just were white knuckling the entire time down here. Then you get down here and you get out onto the beaches and you're just like, oh my God, it is amazing. We're having so much fun. We're drinking margaritas and partying like rock stars, and it's great. And then you go to drive home and you're like, oh no, we got to get back on that freaking road again. Like, this sucks. And then now I'm going to drive north. And I said, this is the last time I'm driving this. We're going to get up there and we're going to take our time and white knuckle all the way north.
Yes.
And I'm going to go, never again. And then I'm going to get up there and go, oh, I miss Baja. We need to drive back down there. And it's gonna continue.
What Paul is saying right now. Freddie is not gonna make it down to Baja again. He's gonna drive it up, and we will find a different way to come down here. But who knows? Once we're up there and he's just missing Baja and all that kind of stuff, he's gonna be like, "Well, let's go one last time." So I know him. I think Lori and Brian, not quite sure, but I think they're coming this next winter to Baja. So she promised to bring me a rhubarb pie because I have never tried rhubarb before. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, big rigs. They have a big rig. And we see it every year. They make it down south and they go back up north. It's just you need to be comfortable with those side roads, and you're gonna suffer it. And you might lose a mirror. That happens all the time, every day. So just know that.
Mm-hmm. Glad the engine's working out. Hey, Don, what's happening? Don Santiago. So driving there, cruise ship. Yeah, cruise ship is definitely the best way to get to Cabo San Lucas, or an airplane. That's definitely the best way.
A car is fine.
A car is fine. Yeah.
Like a lot of our friends,
trucks,
they come every
vans.
single winter.
Yeah.
They come under usually their SUVs, so they can load the back with many things. And sometimes a trailer. They pull a small trailer, a 12-foot trailer, full of stuff too, with all their bicycles and the gear and everything. So the people do the trek every single winter and everything is fine. That's not just said yet. Here we are planning another trip back down. Yeah, see, it's like you're like,
it is not a deal breaker, but know that it is going to be the narrowest road you've ever driven on in your life.
Yes, go to the narrowest road close to your town and just
practice.
Like, that's
find
all
a
I can
2-lane
say.
road with a ditch with no white line on the side of the road, and just drive that.
Or that one line disappears once in a while.
Yeah, and then you'll get fine. You'll be fine. You'll be practicing fine. Do I still kiteboard? Yeah, absolutely. I haven't since I left, but I kited. I think the day before we left, I kiteboarded.
I would say he didn't do it as much this season because we were so caught into doing other things on the property, the build out, on the side, that he did less this season. I wish he would have gone more. But he has all his gear with him. If we're going to certain places that they have kiting, he'll be out there kiting.
I'm gonna try. I want to try. Like if we got to Tahoe, I'd like to try kiting Tahoe. I want to try kiting the Salton Sea, but Lori won't go anywhere near me because you have to hose off because it's so toxic.
It's toxic. It's toxic. Like he's gonna sleep outside, glowing in the dark if he wants to go in there.
But I want to try kiting the Salton Sea. I think it'd be pretty cool.
No cool, Bob. No cool.
Yeah, Lori Buchanan says we can't wait for Butt Pucker Highway. It's exactly what it is. Like you drive right down the middle. Like when there's nobody coming, you drive right, or nobody behind you. Drive right down the center of the road. Then when somebody's coming the other way, you slow down to 45 or 50 and you hug as much as you can and hope it doesn't rip your mirror off. That's all you can do.
I will say the only positive of all that, besides coming south, is that if you're wearing your watch, it's actually clocking it as in workout, because your heart is going racing so much that it thinks you're actually working out. So you can get your workout minutes in your watch.
Yeah, Robin McAlpine, Scotland roads are similar. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're just not meant for this kind of. They're not meant for the larger rigs. They're just not. So, folks, we're going to start. Yeah. We're going to start settling it down. We've got 4 minutes and we've been on almost 2 hours.
And time to go for dinner for our favorite fish tacos in the area.
To celebrate the finish of this.
We're so happy about it. Like, so happy. Like, I'm not usually like a loud, crazy, happy person. Like, Paul gives me surprises. I'm like, thank you so much. And I'm happy inside. I just don't demonstrate it. But I don't know what I have to do to say I'm super happy that this is ready. We're almost ready to go.
I could buy her $1 million diamond and she'd go, oh, thanks, honey. That's it.
I know.
She's not an excitable girl.
I am excited. Well, just on the inside. I don't project it. I don't project it. And Deb says, it's like, going to say it again, we have lots of kiteboarding here. It's like that's.
Yes.
Oh, that's missing.
I know. They've got some great kiteboarding up there.
And they have nice weather too. He's like, Tom is okay. Have a great trip. Keep in touch and be safe. Thank you, Tom and Faye.
Tom and Faye, hugs to you guys. Hugs to everybody. We're so glad that you guys all got a chance to hang out with us on our final live from Mexico. I shouldn't have said that out loud, but touch wood.
I feel like
it's our final live from Mexico.
We feel and we think everything will jinx us. But no, it's like this probably next live, definitely we will be on the US talking to you guys. And we're going to now start doing the lives every month.
Yep.
So if you're up for it, every month we're going to
just kind of look for it, even if I don't post it. Because I was supposed to, Lori last week, hey, post it. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then 3 days ago, did you post it? No, I'll get to it. Did you post it? No, I'll get to it. And then last night I posted it and I did something wrong. And yeah.
And this is a husband that tells me, Lorena, he's like, be on me so I can post it. And I'm on him all the time, but he still doesn't do it.
So just know that last Saturdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be on here. And we love having you guys on with us and seeing the old faces and seeing the chats from everybody and the new faces as well.
Yes, definitely. But just to let you know too, it's like we already set up a schedule too for our members chat. We're going to have live with our members. That's going to be first Saturday. It's going to be the first Saturdays for our members. So that's going to be more personal with our members because it's going to be a smaller chat, obviously. But it's like, we'll see you because there's some of our members right here. We'll see you probably in a week.
Yep.
From now, that will be the first Saturday, and we'll chat a little bit more then. It's about what has happened in that week and plans and things like that. So I'm so excited about it.
Our community rocks. We absolutely love you guys. You guys are amazing. So much fun, so encouraging. And the reason we do this, and hopefully we're going to blow this channel up and have some really, really cool things coming from the southwestern U.S. Some cool travels going on up there. That's the plan.
Where is it?
What?
We don't have plans.
Well,
okay.
The plan is we are here down here in the south, and this is the north up here. We're going to there. So it's not spending so much time down here, but spending time up here. That's the plan.
getting too hot, guys.
Get
Time
too
to
hot.
go.
Later. See ya.
Love you all, guys. And we are out. And